Hey everybody, it's Taking Grace back with another Unreal Engine tutorial UI series video. So yeah, in this video we're going to be doing the drop item function. So as you can see, we have a lot of potions, and it's nice to be able to get rid of some of them with this drop button here. Last time we worked on the use functionality, so we can actually use items from straight from our inventory screen without having to go through our quick use item. Super handy, obviously, later in your game once things are all going through here. And yeah, let's get started here. So let's open our widgets, and we're going to make a new widget. Interface, widget blueprints, and it's going to be called drop item box. It doesn't like spaces. There we go. Drop item box. We're gonna open this guy up. And all right, so there's going to be a bunch of buttons in this one here, but we'll start with the canvas panel times 2. We're gonna double canvas panel this. Why? I don't know. It is the only way I got it to work, is using 2 canvas panels. So we're using two canvas panels. This is gonna be called slot canvas, and we're gonna make that a variable. I did try to do it with only 1 canvas panel, but it just would not work. So anyways, we're going to anchor that to the center of the screen, and we're going to just clear the position X and Y, and we'll size the content, and then we'll do 0.5 and 0.5 just to center it. Okay, and the Z order, this controls the order in which the widgets stack on top of each other. So actually, we'll probably encounter this issue in this video later on, but for now, we want the drop item box to be on top, so we're going to set it to 1. Basically, if the order doesn't matter or anything like that, then put it at 0. But yeah, basically, yeah, Z order is going to control which ones are going to be on top. So, all right, next we are going to get a border. Oh, come on, there we go. The border. We'll call it BG. Next, we will add a text to the border. Pardon me, to the slot canvas. There we go. Whoop. And then we're going to then add another border to the slot canvas. And in that border, we're going to add an editable text box. This border name will name number BG, and this editable text will say edit text box. The edit text box should be a variable, which it is, and that's fine for now. Let's just start with that. So first off, the BG, we are going to make. We'll do 0.5 and 0.5 just to center it. And let's make it like 500 by, like 300? Something like that. And what in the F is going on here? Oh, we have to anchor it to the center as well. There we go. There we go. Okay, so that is where we want it, but we're going to move some padding. Actually, we'll keep the padding. We'll make it 4. So the padding, when you put 4, it just puts 4 on all of these. And for the brush, we are going to leave everything blank, except we're going to draw as a rounded box. And that's a bit too rounded for my liking. So we're going to go to Outline Settings. Width. There we go. Width changes it. We're going to do minus, I don't know, 45. Looks pretty good. Let's get rid of this. Just see what it looks like. That's fine the way it is, but obviously we'll make this dark, and we'll make the alpha 0.7 to match the other stuff. Minus 45, just to keep that even. Okay, so that's all done. Next, the text block up here, we'll leave that for now. We'll deal with that in a second. The number background, we are going to anchor to the middle, and we'll clear the position X and Y. And then we're going to size it, let's say 50 by 50. We will do 0.5 and 0.5. And let's size to content, because it's going to change based on... Actually, let's not size to content. I don't think our stuff's going to get any bigger than that. Anyway, so this is going to be the background of our number that we're going to have in here that's going to select... I think you guys... Yeah, If not, I'll put it on screen right now of what it's going to look like. That's the final product of what we're trying to make. So yeah, this is going to be the background of the actual number. So we're going to want to put that position-wise alignment. Let's go 1.5. Yeah, looks pretty good. Let's do 1.5. Let's do 2. Let's do 1.8. Okay, that looks good. Alright, so next up, we're going to change the actual background. So I think like a grayish. I think just like a little off of, yeah, like something like that. And I'm going to keep it a solid color just so we can see the text in there. And that looks pretty good, to be honest. We were going to go to the edit text box. Text will just be 99 just so we can see something. Padding, we'll keep it 4. So there's this background selected image. I honestly couldn't get this to work. I don't know what the reasoning is, so I just hit none. That's why we did the border. All right, we're going to justify center, and we're going to center and center up here in the horizontal and vertical alignment. Let's go to font. We'll keep it at 24. And we're going to add an outline. So let's just do like 2 to give it some like pops. And we're going to go to color and opacity. I don't know why it's pink. That's interesting. Okay. Sure. Now it's white. That's what we want. So just looking at this, it's not centered like, you know, like normal. I don't know, again, what's going on there. But anyways, we'll go to edit text box, and we're going to go down to transform translation. We'll do 0.5 and 0.5 like we did in other videos. And now that's right in the middle. All right, next we will start adding some buttons. So we'll gonna add the buttons to the slot canvas. And I did give you guys some more free stuff down in the description. So we'll go to our assets folder, and then we'll drag in our other new 2 things here, which are 2 arrows. We're gonna just right click and do the whole shigamabob thing that we normally do. Oh. So you guys know what you're doing here. We've done it multiple times. All right, so let's drag in a button. Sorry, let's get the button first. Drag this button into the slot canvas. We'll name this left. Actually, let's name it Quant Plus. All right, I spelled quant wrong. There we go. All right, next we will go over here and we'll set all of our stuff up here. So let's first we'll anchor it to the center, and then we're going to get rid of all that. The size, a little 50 by 50, I think is what? Yeah, because we want it to match the size of that guy there. And alignments. Let's we'll have to fiddle around with this to get what we want because it's super bonk. 1.5 looks pretty good, and then like what, 2 or 1.8? Yeah, 1.8. After that, we're gonna go to normal, and we will set our arrow, which will be actually the right arrow. Sorry, I did this backwards because I did quant plus, and we want that on the other side. So I think we'll do -2. No, minus. See what I mean? Like, you'd think it'd be -1.5, but it's not. -0.5? Yeah, -0.5 is what we're looking for. And we'll copy this. Actually, we'll copy the whole thing once we're done here. So we're going to draw that as an image. And the image size will just stay, well, we'll do 50 by 50. And let's do the tint as white. And that should be it. So we'll do, we'll copy this, copy, and then we'll paste it over hovered. And then we'll paste it over pressed. And then we'll go into hovered, and we'll just change the tint to this one here. And then pressed, we will change the tint to the light, I don't know, I didn't save my thing from last time, but it'll be this light blue color. Just like that. And the press sound for, obviously we'll do switch on because that's the louder one, like I said in the last video. And then switch off for the hovered sound. Alright, that's what we want. So now we're going to duplicate this guy. And we'll call it quant minus. And we will 1.5 and oh, we got to anchor it, of course. That's why I was like, hang on, something ain't right here. 0 and 0. And then we're going to, everything else should be fine. We just got to change the actual thing to the left arrow. Left arrow, and we'll just copy, paste, paste. And we just gotta go back in and change the colors. There's gonna be a lot of repetitive stuff in this video, just a lot of duplicating and just kind of changing values back to what you want. So that's what we want it to look like, just like that. All right, let's make a new button. Add it to slot canvas, and we will anchor to the center. We'll call this button drop items, or drop item button. Okay, so it is centered. We'll clear the position X and the position Y, and I kind of like the size for once. Do we want to do this? Yes, we do. Okay, so we'll do 0.5, 0.5. And for the button style, I think we'll just do a rounded box once again. And literally, what I'm seeing right now, I actually don't mind at all. So I think that's what we'll do here. Rounded box, we'll just change the color to that little bit above gray. You can eyedrop, let's eyedrop this one here. You can see we have that annoying outline again. So let's grab the, well, if I do 0, it did, okay, now it disappears. In the one video before, it like didn't go away. It was really annoying. But we'll just set it to this color just so it like goes away. All right, that will be the color, and then what we want, we will copy, paste, and then we will change this tint to be this color, and we will change the pressed tint to be this color. All right. We will then add a text to this button, and the text, we're going to get rid of the padding, and this text is going to say drop item. All right. We could just scale this down until we get something we like. I think like 15 is probably good. Justify its center and make sure that it's centered up here. And I think that's, yeah. Maybe the button could be like 200 by 40. Is that too big? That's too big. Let's do like 150 by 35. That's pretty good. Okay, let's do that. Maybe we'll even make this like back to 24 again. Yikes, that is massive. Let's do 20. There. That's pretty good. So we'll stick with that. Now we need to just duplicate this button. Like I said in the last video, this is going to take like 20 minutes. I don't think it's gonna, or 15 minutes. I think it's going to be longer than that. This is crazy long. All right. We'll make this button, we'll call it the quarter button. And for this button, we're going to, let's change the font first because it's going to affect our size. We'll just say 1/4. For the size for this, let's do like 50 by 50. And it should be, yeah, still a rounded box. We will clear the positions, and we will, let's do a new alignment. So, oh god, right here probably? Something like that. So what is that, 3.7? These are whack, dude. 3.7, and we'll go down to here, so that's about 1. We'll just say -1. Alright, and I think that's everything we need to change. We'll just check the style. Yeah, the style's all the same. So we just need to repeat that another 3 times. And we'll call this one half. And we'll call this one 3/4. And then we'll call this one all. So I'll put the final thing up on the screen once again. That's what you guys are going to be going for. I'm going to skip ahead until this is done just to keep the video a bit shorter, but all you got to do is click on this and then make sure that it's anchored to center, clear the positions X and Y, and then just fiddle with the alignment till you're getting something that's pretty close to even. 1.8 looks pretty good there. And anyway, so we'll just do that for the other 2 ones, and I will see you there. Alright, so this is what your thing should look like, and obviously make sure you change the texts over if that wasn't obvious already. But yeah, essentially that is all we need to do for the widget, except actually we need to add one more button. We'll just honestly just duplicate this again, and we'll call this exit button, and we're gonna, it's anchored to the center as well, we're gonna clear the position Y and X, and then we're going to align this at the very top corner here, let's say -4, and probably like this, my 3.5, yeah. Okay, and then we're gonna go to style, and we're going to change this to a image, and it's going to be our white X. And we will size the content. That always changes it for some reason. And it's going to be 50 by 50. That should put it back. Oh, no, it doesn't, of course. Make sure this is white. Oh, sorry, make sure this is, like, slightly off from red, like we did before. Sure, it's probably because all, actually. So let's go over here and delete the text, because we don't need it. There, look at that. It all worked out. So we will just copy the copy this and then paste and paste, and then we'll just go back to hovered, and we'll just make it more red than that. And then for pressed, we'll just make the image size 45 by 45, and then we'll change this to like maybe the same blue as before, this one here. All right. Okay, that's all done. Before we start the scripting, oh, I just forgot about this guy. I'm like, yeah, we'll do this later, and then totally forgot about it. Well, we'll center that guy, and we'll 0 and 0, and then size doesn't necessarily matter. We'll just do the type. It's going to be drop how many? Okay, and let's center it with 0.5. And we will bring this up here, and then we'll just make sure that it is justified center. Okay, so what is that? 4, let's see, 4 point, we'll do 4.5. Where does that put us? That ain't bad, to be honest. Maybe a bit higher. 4.6, 4.7, 4.7, I think is the winner. All right, if you want to change this size, I think we can just shrink this up here. Get something like that. That's perfect. Okay, so we're going to hit compile. Before we do the scripting for this, we're going to do the drop item stuff inside our HUD class. So we're going to go to HUD class. And we'll do this, and then we'll start the next video doing the scripting for the Dropbox. Anyway, so we're in our item management. We're going to grab all this, and we'll just drag it down a little bit. And then we'll come up here, and we're going to make a new custom event called drop item. We're going to have a couple of inputs on this. Obviously, we're going to need an item index to determine which item we're dropping. And then we're going to need a second one for a quantity for how many items we are going to drop. All right, so the first thing we'll do is we're going to get from our item slot the use item index, and we're going to set this as the item index that we are going to bring over. Alrighty, and then we're going to grab our player character, and we're going to get our inventory. And then we're going to get our content. We're going to get copy, and it's going to be of whatever this item is. We're then going to split this struct pin, and then we're going to do some mathity maths. So we're going to grab, we're going to drag out a quantity, and we're going to minus, by the quantity here. Just like that. We're going to drag, oh yeah, sorry, we got to make, I'm going to drag this guy out too. Sorry, there's so many nodes, man. There's so many nodes. We're going to split this. So, new item is going to, we're going to set the new item just to use throughout this. So it's not going to mess up anything else in our code, because once this is all said and done, we're going to tell it to refresh our item slot, and then it's just going to set new item back to whatever item we're using. So not so big deals. We're going to plug item ID into here, and we're going to plug in the new quantity into here as well. Just a little bit, just so it doesn't look stupid. It looks stupid anyway. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So next thing we're going to do, we need to get our data table row. So we'll just split this again, get our data table row. And we'll get our item data table. We will need to break this guy because we'll need a couple of things out of here. And the first node we need is we need to spawn actor from class. This is going to be what obviously creates the new item, and we finally get to use our item class. We made in episode 3 of this tutorial series. And the transform, it gets a little tricky, so I think the best way to do this is we will get our player character, and then we will get our interaction sphere. Or is it, what is it? Get, interact, what did we name it in this thing? Yeah, man. Get interact sphere. We're going to get the world location. Get world location. And we'll split this. So, if you recall, we made this interaction sphere for our player character to overlap with items to pick up in the world. So, basically, we're going to get the world location of that specific sphere, and then we're going to basically spawn our item there. So, we are going to split the spawn transform, and then we're going to split the location as well. Okay, we'll plug X and Y in just per normal, but just to ensure that this makes it to the ground, we're just going to do a minus 100 node, or 100. For the Z and plug that in. So then that'll basically snap it to the ground. Alrighty. The next thing we need to do is we need to set the quantity of items that we are dropping. So we need to get our item data, which is obviously going to be a component of this specific actor. And we're going to set quantity. And the quantity we want to grab is this one. We should actually rename this because it's kind of misleading. Quantity to remove. Okay, so we will go way down here and we'll add a reroute node. And we'll drag this all the way out here and add a reroute node. And we'll stick this up here. Alright. Okay, we get to finally use that fancy warning system. Well, we've already used it, but we get to use it some more. So we're gonna add a warning, and the message to send is we're gonna format text, and what we want to say is we want to dropped, and then like the number sign times item. Alright, item will be in the brackets as well. Okay, so we'll plug this in here, and we will grab the name from here, and we'll add a reroute node, and then we'll drag that and plug that in here. So that warning box will pop up and let you know how many items you dropped. Alright, and then finally we need to remove this item from our inventory. So we need to grab our player character, and we need to get the inventory. Inventory. There it is. Remove from inventory. Okay, so that'll happen. And obviously we need to plug in our new item, because that is the item that we need. And the index is going to be the use item index. After that, we need to update our UI for our items, so we need to refresh item slot, which will refresh our quick use item slot, and then we need to open inventory, which will refresh our inventory, because it'll be open at this point, so we need to make sure that that node runs. That should be it. So that is the node to drop an item. I'm going to stop the video here just because it's going to get super long. But next video, meet me back here in the drop item box, and we're going to start the scripting for this guy here. So I'll see you in the next video.